Hello, my narc-free family. I encourage you to go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and click the bell icon so that you can receive notifications when new videos are uploaded. So I recently made a video about no contact with a narcissist, and I'm making this separate video about no contact when you have kids with a narcissist. I encourage you to go back and watch, or listen to rather, that first video, as there is some pertinent information in there, and I will leave a link for it below. So for those of us who have children with the narcissist, we can't just throw their phone number away and get a new phone number for ourselves and cut them off completely from everything just because we have children with them. And so there is some business that we still have to handle for a certain amount of time. So it's typically called low contact when you are dealing with a narcissist and you do have to communicate with them. You want it to be very, very minimal. So what this looks like is that all of your contact is going to be via text message, email with a separate email that you've created just to speak with them on, or a software or app called something like Our Family Wizard. Our Family Wizard is one of them. It's the one I use that our judge ordered in the divorce. And I'm sure that there are other products like this out there also. This will help you with your documentation, and it also can be seen by the judges and lawyers. They can go in there and look at the messages. And so it's a good place for evidence to be kept forever because it's time stamped and you can see whether they opened the message or not. Okay. I believe it's about $99 a year, or at the present time it is. And if you want extra bells and whistles, it costs you a little more, but $99 is the starting price, okay? And I wish that we could go complete no contact. I'm sorry. This is the best that we can do. So all of your correspondence needs to be in those formats because you may need this later for court. So you really don't want to have conversations with the narcissist, if at all possible. I do not speak with the narcissistic ex at all. Ever do I speak with him. Okay. They will twist your words, and they are so deceptive and so manipulative. So you want to be very careful about it. But when you do it this way via text or email, you are able to keep the documentation that they've sent you as evidence for court. So when they're trying to gaslight you, they won't be able to do it. I have sent my ex messages telling him that gaslighting does not work when it's done on black and white, because he continues to do it, even not in person. They are so cocky that they will do it in black and white, still try to gaslight you. So this is the best way to do it. And all of the correspondence needs to be businesslike. It needs to be very short and very to the point. Okay, only about the children. What I want you to do is, when you send a message to the narcissist, when you're getting ready to send it, before you hit send, I want you to go back and read the message out loud and hear what it sounds like. Then I want you to go in and edit it. Just like if you were writing some type of paper and you needed for it to be very precise. Don't put anything extra in there that would let them know your emotional well-being, or, you know, what you thought about the last message they sent you, whether you're upset about it or any type of emotion. You want to tighten up all of your messages to the narcissist. Okay. And you always want to go back and reread it. And because this can become part of a court hearing, so you don't want anything bad on your end. And they are going to try to trigger you. So be very careful and very mindful. Now, here's the other thing. For non-emergency messages, which a lot of messages won't be emergency messages, you do not have to respond to them immediately. Take your time. They love to be in control. And if you're normally responding back to them very quickly, you need to set the tone that you are no longer with them, you are no longer married to them, and you don't need to respond to them quickly. You can respond hours later or the next day, and something else. Some messages don't need a response. Sometimes, they've lost their supply, or something is going on with them and they just want to try to get a rise out of you. And so they'll start messing with you to see what they can get. I want you to starve them of that supply. Let them know that they won't be getting any supply or any fuel from you. So don't respond to all messages. And I want to give you an example of that. If they asked you a question the week before, or you gave them instructions the week before about the pickup time for the children at school or something of that nature, and they ask you again that next week the same question that you already answered, you don't need to respond to them at all. No one is going to think that it was, odd that you didn't respond to them when they know that they're trying to antagonize you, or they're just trying to get some kind of response out of you that's frivolous about something that you've already answered. Now, if you haven't answered it and it is something you need to answer it, then go ahead and do it. But be very careful, because I've seen some Facebook posts of people in some of these groups, and I see their responses back to the narcissist, and I'm thinking the narcissist is having a field day with this. You want to be as emotionless as possible, and ignoring messages that you don't need to fool with is exactly the kind of thing you want to do if you want to get them to leave you alone, which obviously we all want them to leave us alone, okay? They will try to bait you into an argument. Let me see what else I wanted to tell you all. I don't think that I said this in the last video on no contact, which again, I encourage you to listen to, but narcs love negative supply or negative fuel. They like it better than they liked you telling them that you adored them or telling them great things, okay? So just know that when you have children with them, if they have children with you, most likely it was part of a trap to be able to keep you as a supply forever, okay? So they fully intend for you to be theirs forever. And that is the way they look at you, as an extension of them. Okay. And that's kind of something that you really need to understand so that you know how to handle them, because you are trying to shut this down. Even though you have children with them, you are trying to not be triggered by them. So you need to know that your pain is their healing. I'm going to repeat that again. Your pain is their healing. They're going to continue to try to run game on you. You do not want that. So you are going to make your messages very short and very to the point. Let's see. And I also wanted to mention to you, for some of you that need to shut them down further, they are really becoming a bother to you, and it is affecting your mental health, which they love to do. I have listened to Caroline Strawson, who is also a YouTuber, and I will leave a link for her channel, and I will try to find the exact video that this is on regarding no contact on her channel, and I'll leave that link below. She recommends that if you need to, get a second phone, something like a burner phone, just a cheap phone, and keep that phone charged up. And you can shut them down further by using that phone as the only way that you relay messages to them, and only checking the messages certain days and certain times. So the way this looks is you would let the narcissist know that here is the number that they can use to send their text messages. And you could do this for emails also. You could set up an email and do the same thing and say, hey, I'm going to check these messages these days and these times, maybe 2 days a week or 3 days a week, whatever works for you. And so that if they're bombarding you with text messages and things of that nature, that you have a plan in place to protect yourself so that you can have peace. Okay. So I hope that this has been helpful to you, and let me know down in the comments if you all have any other ideas outside of what Carolyn Strawson has suggested, which I believe is a very good idea. Now, I personally don't use that method. And the only reason that I don't is because I have smaller children, and it would be more tasking for me to have to keep up with 2 phones all the time. And so I don't do it now. Now, in the future, when they get a little bigger, then yes, I may consider doing it then when I have a better grasp on things and they're bigger and they're more independent. Okay. I hope this has been helpful to you all. Thank you for joining me here again at Narc Free. Bye bye, my beautiful people.